41 past the hour, we want to talk about Karine Jean-Pierre's new book, Moving Forward, a story of hope, hard work, and the promise of America, which she calls a call to arms for those who know that now is the time that we must act. And I couldn't agree with you more. It's a great book, and we'll get into the call to action in just a moment. But first, you get very raw, very vulnerable, very personal in this book. Why did you decide to write it?
I wanted to put something that was honest and like you said, raw. And I think that many people that I meet, they look at me and they're like, oh, you're on TV, you've worked in the White House, you got it all together. And when I decided to write this book, I wanted to be like, no, you know what? I've had a tough upbringing. I've had my ups and downs, but I still managed to get over the humps, and I still succeeded, and I overcame a lot. And I think that was an important story for me to tell for young women, from young women of color, for young Black women who look at me now and see me as a mentor. And I just wanted to really share that, because it's not all wonderful and flowers and just kind of, a beautiful thing.
Well, it's not easy. And I love that. Before you get to Mike, I mean, I just think, you describe your rock bottom moments in life, your struggle with mental health. And for people, I think with Know Your Value, and we did a piece on this for KnowYourValue.com.
Thank you so much for that.
It's all about sort of showing everybody it's not easy. Everybody's got a story, and it's a tough one. And you debunk that for people who think maybe you had a path that was easier than theirs. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Mike.
I mean, a sad but formative childhood. And childhood are the building blocks of a life. Just spell out a few pieces of that sad but formative childhood.
Yeah, so I grew up in an immigrant household. My parents came here for the American dream, what they believed it to be. And it was really tough, because I didn't speak the languages when I got here, because I'm an immigrant myself, not just my parents. And it was just hard to really kind of fit in. I've always felt like I never fit in, whether it was not speaking the language, whether because I didn't have the right clothes. And I grew up in a working class family, so didn't have the money either. And so there was always challenges, always a hurdle to try and overcome. And in school, I wasn't the brightest in school, so I had to kind of overcome that.
Do you have any friends in school?
Oh, I had friends, but it was tough very early on. It wasn't until high school that I really found myself and felt that I knew who I was and had my created friends, real friends. But it's tough for many people. And I think people don't understand when you come in an immigrant family and your family's trying to kind of morph into this culture, morph into what is happening right here in this country, it is tough. And that's why it makes me sad what I see right now, kind of the anti-immigrant sentiment, because my parents make this country great, just like everybody else.
Well, I think you're also pointing out, even if it's sort of the subconscious of this, the message is that our history matters.
Our history matters.
And, our personal history, our personal experience, but also the history of this country. What's the connection that you make to your own storyline and to politics today?
Well, I think for my storyline, it basically is, you don't have to come from a legacy family to get into politics. You could find your political power by just stepping in. You can find your political voice by just stepping in. And I managed to do it as an immigrant, as someone who, didn't go to, undergrad, didn't go to an Ivy League school, didn't have the doors open for me. I decided I wanted to go in politics. I had great mentors, and I did that. And I was able to make change, whether working through policy, legislation, helping, being on the campaign that helped get Barack Obama, our first Black president, elected, that many of us are so proud of. And so I hope that my path inspires people. I actually dedicate the book to folks who have been told no so many times in their life. And I say, I hope this book motivates you and inspires you. And that is the point of the book.
That's a lot of people.
The book, yeah, really, I'm right here, is officially out tomorrow, and her first book event in conversation with Joy Reid is tonight at 7 at Barnes & Noble on the Upper East Side. That's always a great time. Karine, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mika.
It's time.